Yo, what it do, boys? We are so back. I know. You guys might have thought that I fucking died or something. Maybe he got in a car crash. What was happening? I've been seeing the comments. Where is he? Did he die? Is he sick? What's going on? Did somebody in his family die? The answer is no. I just haven't been uploading any videos. But we're so back for UFC 323. Yes, as you can see, I have to fucking record this on my phone because my computer's dead, and I left my laptop charger in my room at my house over Thanksgiving break. I know this fucking sucks, but you guys are just gonna have to deal with me scrolling up and down like this throughout the video on my phone. But I'm still gonna fucking pick the fights. I still know who I'm gonna pick for these fights. I've still done my analysis. So let's get right into it. It's a really good fucking card. Merab Peter 2. Should be a more competitive fight this time. Pantoja Van, the real main event. Moreno Tyra, banger. Cejudo Peyton Talbot, honestly a really good fight, even though stupid decision to make the fight to begin with. This is a really good fight. Jan Blachowicz and Bogdan, training partner of Walter. I've been texting Walter, asking him how Bogdan looks in camp. He's told me, bro, Bogdan is ready. That's what Walter Walker told me on the phone a couple hours ago. So, this should be a good fight. Got the prelims are stacked as well. Guys, tune into the fucking prelims. I mean, and it's the last pay-per-view ever, so give it up. No more pay-per-views, no more Stream East, no more crack streams, no more Met streams after this card. Thank the Lord. You only have to pay $7.99 a month on Paramount Plus now. But yeah, let's get into my picks for this card. All right. Jesus. First fight on the card. This is a good fight too. Muhammad Naimov, Myron Santos. Myron Santos, very, very good prospect. 17-1. Muhammad Naimov, also a really good fighter. Has, a cheated to win over Nathaniel Wood. But has a win over, who did he beat? Rinya Nakamura. Dude, let me fucking go on his Tapology. Dude, I can't go on his Tapology now on my phone to check his. Ew. I just fucking blew into my mic. Hold on, let me back it up. Yeah, I can't. But I'll go on Tapology on my PlayStation. This video already is dog shit. Sorry. I have to one take it though. That's my thing. I gotta one take everything. No edits. But let's talk about Myron Santos real quick. Very good prospect in the UFC. Young prospect, 25 years old. Coming off a he's coming off a win against Sadiq Youssef where he looked really fat and out of shape. So they made the fight at lightweight, but still he went in there, stayed technical at range, outstruck Sadiq Youssef for the most part. Has got a win over Francis Marshall. Everybody thought that shit was a robbery. I didn't think it was a robbery. I thought that just because Francis Marshall took him down and controlled him a little bit doesn't mean that when Myron was on the feet and landing strikes at range and beating him in the striking, that doesn't mean that he loses just because he got taken down and controlled a little bit. So, and I know he did get dropped in the first round, but he won the second and third round and ended up getting that win. Not in my opinion. That's a fact. My opinions are just facts. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that's what Myron's done. He knocked out fucking Con Ofley, mate. He knocked out Con Ofley coming off The Ultimate Fighter. Probably one of the best fighters to come off The Ultimate Fighter recently. But looking at Naimov, and I'm picking Myron Santos in this fight, by the way. I know Naimov says he's 5'9". I don't believe that. I think he's a little bit shorter than that. I think Myron Santos is going to be able to have the takedown defense to be able to. Ooh, do I? Yeah, I do. I think he's gonna. But I don't know. See, Naimov just smudged Bogdangrad in his last fight, and Bogdangrad was taking down Luke Riley and smudging him. I don't know, man. I want to see Myron Santos get a win. I want to see him get a win and knock out Muhammad Naimov, but I'm switching up. I know I'm switching up. I'm gonna go with Muhammad Naimov to get this one done. I think yeah, he should be able to smudge Myron Santos. He should. Maybe he gets a submission, maybe not, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Naimov to get a smudge decision over Myron. Even though I like Myron as a prospect and I'm gonna want him to win, I might be betting on him to win, but yeah, I just am gonna pick Muhammad Naimov to smudge him and get a decision that way. Next fight, Mansour Abdulmalik versus Antonio Tricoli. Antonio Tricoli is garbage at fighting. Not that I'm much better, but still, Antonio Tricoli's garbage at fighting. Mansour Abdulmalik is an 8-0 prospect. He hits insanely hard. He's got good grappling. Antonio Tricoli fought Shara Bullet. He's only in the UFC because he took Shara Bullet on short notice and was dating Mackenzie Dern. Now he isn't dating Mackenzie Dern. There's no reason for him to be in the UFC. Mansour Abdulmalik is going to probably take him down. He could honestly, Mansour Abdulmalik could do whatever he wants in this fight. Like, on the feet, he could probably knock out Tricoli if he wants. If he wants to grapple, he'll probably submit him. Like, he can just do whatever he wants in this fight and end up getting the win. So I'm going to go with Mansour Abdulmalik by a finish. I'm not going to pick a submission or a knockout. Probably a knockout because I don't think he's much of a jiu-jitsu guy. So I'll go Mansour Abdulmalik by knockout. But that's pretty easy. Antonio Tricoli's garbage. He's 12-5. Look at that record, and he's not a good 12-5 either. So yeah, we'll go with Mansour to get a knockout in this one. Next one on the card, Ivo Berenewski versus Ibo Aslan. ESPN, billion-dollar company, doesn't have a picture of Ivo to put on the thing. And Ibo Aslan, the last Ottoman. Is he really the last Ottoman? Is he really even an Ottoman? He's Turkish. Not, nah, we're not gonna get into it. But yeah, one thing I'll say about Ibo Aslan is, coming into the UFC, everybody thought he was some marauder that's gonna walk down everybody and TKO them easily, but it turns out he's not, and he's actually kind of garbage for UFC level. He lost to Billy Elicana in a tit-for-tat striking battle where he did literally nothing and lost. Ivo Berenewski, coming off the Contender Series, knocked out the fake Muhammad Ali. Not Muhammad Ali the boxer, but Muhammad Ali the jiu-jitsu grappler, that 180cc or some shit. So I'm going to go with Ivo Berenewski to get this one done. And he has a grappling background too. Ivo has a grappling background too. And don't let that 6-0 record fool you. I think he has a lot of amateur experience. So he is coming into this as the more experienced MMA fighter. So I'm going to go with him to beat up on Ibo Aslan. Probably take him down. He probably could submit him if he wants. But I'm going to go with a decision where he outgrapples him for a little bit. And then he, outstrikes him a little bit on the feet. Yeah, I'm looking at his Tapology right now. He's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's got 17, 18 amateur fights. So, yeah, we're going to go with Iwo to get this one done. I think he's a solid prospect coming off the Contender Series. So, yeah, and can we get, by the way, sidebar, can we get some of these guys coming off the Contender Series this season? Can we get them fights, please? Because I'm waiting. I want to see these guys get fights. It seems like he's the only one coming off the Contender Series that has a fight yet. Maybe they're all saving them for the Paramount cards or whatever. I don't know, but we need to start getting these Contender Series guys scheduled. I mean, Contender Series was in, September? September is the 9th month of the... Oh my god, dude. I'm going to fucking be counting like a fucking 6-year-old the months of the year. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, but let's get some of these Contender Series guys fights. That's my thing. But yeah, Ivo Baranowski by decision against Ivo Aslan. Ivo Aslan's not that good, so pretty easy fight to. I mean, not easy fight, but I'm gonna go with him to get that one done. Next fight. Why are they doing this to my boy Barbozy? Like, dude, come on, really? Like, I know people are talking about, oh my god, dude, Jalen Turner's coming off the retirement. Dude, how's the retirement gonna affect him? But he, dude, he retired like what in March? Like that's not even that long of a layoff. It was a fake retirement. He's coming back. He's gonna knock him out in like the first round. Like he's 6'3", hits like a fucking Mack truck. And Barboza's defense and footwork have gotten so much worse. He just lost to Drakkar Klose by getting outstruck and outboxed on the feet. Like I don't like what am I supposed to pick here? What am I supposed to analyze? Jalen Turner's gonna land a straight left down the pipe and sleep Barboza. And there's nothing Barboza's going to be able to do about it. There's literally nothing he's going to be able to do about it. He's going to go out there, get TKO'd, go home, probably should retire after this fight. Hopefully Jalen Turner retires after this fight too, again, and stays retired. But yeah, it's going to be a knockout win for Jalen Turner in like the first round probably. So that's what we're picking. I mean, if you're not picking that, I mean, hey, listen. Would I love to see a Barbozy vintage performance? Absolutely. But, dude, that's just not realistic at this point. So, I'm going to go with Jalen Turner to knock out Edson Barboza. I know, shocker. That's a real shocker. Next one. Vettori is back, boys. Hey, clap it up. Marvin's back. We love Marvin Vettori on this channel, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to beat Bruno Ferreira. Like, Vettori, first of all, don't let the age, like, fool you. The age thing on the screen, like, the difference in the age fool you. Vettori is regressing. He's getting worse. He's getting rocked in his fights more. He's getting stunned more. The granite orc chin that everybody talks about, it's deteriorating, and his striking is getting worse every fight. Like, what's he gonna like? What's he gonna do? He's gonna be, oh, he's feigning his jab. He's feigning his jab, missing his two. You know, maybe throwing a low kick. That's not gonna work. First of all, opposite stance. Bruno Ferreira, that right hand is prime to crack Marvin Vettori's chin. Right, Bruno Ferreira is probably one of the hardest hitters at middleweight. He might be the hardest hitter at middleweight right now. I'm gonna be honest. Like who actually punches harder than Bruno Ferreira at middleweight? Who does? Like you can't. I don't know. Right? It's nobody. It's him. He's the hardest puncher Marvin Vettori has ever gone up against. He's the hardest hitter at middleweight. And the only way he can win, like his way to win this fight, is by landing punches to begin with. And everybody, like, you know, the commentary is gonna glaze. Like Rogan's gonna glaze. Like you're gonna fucking hear it, right? You're gonna hear Joe Rogan be like, and Marvin Vettori, but he is a high-level grappler on the ground, or like he's either gonna be Rogan defending Vettori's grappling in this fight, saying he's gonna take down Ferreira, or you're going to hear Rogan glazing the fuck out of Bruno Ferreira's grappling. It's going to be one or the other. No in between. Maybe it might be both, but I think Bruno Ferreira, I think this is the one, man. I think this is the one where Marvin goes down. I just think it is. Now, if it isn't, it should be kind of a scrap that I do think Bruno Ferreira is still going to win because I think Marvin's just not good at fighting at this point, right? How did he beat Paulo Costa? We'll never know. But yeah, I think Marvin is getting worse every single fight, and I think his chin is getting worse every fight. He's getting stunned more every fight. You saw it in the Brandon Allen fight. He was getting stunned on the feet by BA. So I'm gonna go with Bruno Ferreira to line up a right hand, put it on Vettori's chin. Unfortunately, I don't want to see it happen. I want to see Marvin go out here and win, but Unfortunately, my prediction is Bruno Ferreira's gonna chin Marvin Vettori, probably in like the second or third round. Second round, I'll go with. So yeah, but really solid early prelims, dude. Like these are all like solid fights. Like Jalen Turner's a outside the rankings fighter at lightweight. Mansour Abdulmalik's a good prospect. I mean, they should step him up in competition. But Naimov Myron Santos might be the best fight on the early prelims too. Like these are good fucking fights. This card is awesome. And we're moving up. This might be one of the best fights on the card. Nazim Sadikov, what, however the fuck you say it, versus Fares Ziem. God, this is such a good fight. And dude, Fares Ziem. Oh, let's go through these guys' records real quick. Fares Ziem, I think, what was his last fight? His last fight was that scrap with Mike Davis. It'll probably be in my Fights of the Year video. That was a great fucking fight, dude. The grappling level display in that fight was insane. And there were like big shots landed, ground and pound, all that. Pause. But yeah, Fereziem's last fight with Mike Davis was a really good fight. I think that was his last fight, right? Sorry about the technical difficulties, aka my phone shutting off. This is fucking stupid. I don't want to record on my phone. It's pissing me off so much. I have to like key my finger on the screen to do this. But yeah, let's get back into this one. Fereziem. Like, these guys are solid. These guys should be in the top 15 at lightweight. That's how good these guys are. So, like, you're gonna want to tune into these prelims to watch this fight. But yeah, his last fight was against Mike Davis, and then before that he got the knockout of Matt Frivola with the knee. Yeah, this dude's really good. And Nazim Sadikov, trains with Aljamain Sterling, trains with Merab at Serra-Longo, I think. Really powerful striking. I think he has solid grappling as well. This isn't going to be, I'm struggling with this one because I can see Ziam taking Nazim down and submitting him, but I could also see Nazim just battering Fares on the feet. And I don't think Fares usually initiates grappling enough to be able to, like, as Lucas Tracy would say, impose his will on Nazim. So I think I'm going to go with Nazim to win this. I don't know if he's going to get a knockout. We'll go with a decision, right, where he outstrikes Fares, because Fares is kind of a little bit stationary and his boxing isn't as crisp, and Nazim does have powerful boxing, and it's more crisp and more fluid, and he's better at it, frankly. So I'm going to go with Nazim to outbox Fares. Maybe get the TKO, maybe not, but that's my prediction for this fight. Next one. Macy Barber and Karine Silva. People forget, man, Macy Barber said she was going to be the youngest UFC champion ever, and isn't even a champion when she's 27. But I do think she's going to win this fight. Honestly, I don't even remember the last time I watched Karine Silva fight was, and I don't care enough to check it on Tapology. So I'm just going to go with Macy Barber to, like, land a few strikes and win. This will be a typical women's MMA fight. So I don't... Dude, everything's a typical women's MMA. It all is, dude. Like, I say that every time, but it's fucking true. They're all just like typical women's MMA fights. Like, one of them's landing punches and getting the better of the boxing exchanges, but not really hurting the other one, and the other one's trying and missing, shooting takedowns, pushing them against the cage, failing to get takedowns. Like, that's how every women's MMA fight goes. Or, one gets on top and smudges the other one. Like, it's the same shit every single time. Like, you can't tell me that's wrong to say. But yeah, we're going to go with Macy Barber to get that one done. And she's pretty hot. Hit my line, though, Macy. I'm picking you to win the fight, Maybe we can make something happen. I'll take you out for dinner if you win this fight. I know. Maybe you could take me out for dinner. But nah. We'll move on to the next one. Terrence McKinney, Chris Duncan. This is going to be a banger as well. Like, Terrence McKinney is a first round demon, first round merchant, actually. Gets a lot of finishes in the first round. Very explosive fighter, insanely powerful. But he also has good grappling as well. Like, he beat, like, Fares EM, who we talked about earlier. Terrence McKinney beat him. Now, obviously, earlier in Fares's career when he was a bit younger. I think Fares has gotten a bit better since then. But Terrence McKinney beat him and arm triangled him in the first round. I was beating the shit out of him beforehand on his back with ground and pound shots. And Chris, coming off that war with Mateus Rebecki, Chris has impressed me this year. I'm gonna give it to Chris this year, dude. He's impressed me. I didn't think he was that good. Well, I still don't really think he's like the most skilled fighter ever, but he is tough as shit. He's Scottish, and I gotta give him credit. And I'm gonna pick him to win this fight and tough it out again. Like, I know Bedtime picked Terrence McKinney, and he was saying that, like, Chris, I don't think Chris is going to survive the first round, but I disagree. I think when you watch Terrence's fights, the guys he's, like, piecing up on the feet are smaller than him. And I think Chris is going to be able to, like, he's going to be big enough to be able to, like, size matters in strike. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, if you know, right? Like, size and striking. Like, if you know, all right? Like honestly, Chris's last fight is a perfect example of this with Rebetsky, where Rebetsky was just, like, too small to, like, do any. He wasn't as physically imposing in the striking as Chris was. He was, like, running into elbows from range that Chris was landing. So I'm gonna go with Chris to win this fight. I think he's gonna be able to weather the first round storm from Terrence. Not even the first round storm. I think he's gonna wear, like, a first 2 minute, 2.5 minute storm from Terrence. And then I think Chris is going to be able to slowly work his way once Terrence's footwork slows down and the speed isn't as, and his punches aren't as fast. Maybe he's not throwing any kicks at that point, right? Maybe Terrence will start out landing some kicks, but after that first 2.5 minutes, his kicks are going to slow down. He might stop throwing them. And then Chris is going to start wading his way into range, landing his jab, maybe landing elbows, a right hand, landing his own kicks. And he's going to work his way back in. He's going to push Terrence up against the cage. He's going to take him down. He's going to submit him. I think Chris is going to get a gritty submission win. So that's what I'm going with, Chris Duncan. Gritty submission win after Terrence gets a little bit tired in the first round. And he puts it on him. Maybe he lands a bunch of ground and pound, TKOs him, but I'll say, like, a ground finish, right? After getting Terrence down later on it. Like, maybe in round 2 or something. I'll say kind of like the Dober fight, maybe, for Terrence. So yeah, I'm going to go with that for Chris to get this one done. Biggest fight of his career. Because if he wins this, he's top 15. But now this one. We got my man Grant Dawson coming up against Manuel. Grant Dawson is really good at grappling, man. He is. His fight with Diego Ferreira, I was impressed by. But at the same time, I was unimpressed by his last fight with Diego Ferreira. Because he tired himself out grappling and then was getting pieced up on the feet a little bit by Diego Ferreira. Now, I know Diego Ferreira is a really solid grappler. Like, I mean, that's his thing. But I just don't think you can be tired on the feet against Manuel Torres if he works his way up. And I think Manuel Torres is a lot bigger and a lot physically stronger than Diego Ferreira in the wrestling. And he's going to be working it, and he's going to be able to work himself. I think Manuel's going to be able to work himself back up to his feet. And once he works himself back up to his feet and Grant's hands are dropping and he's a little tired, all Manuel really has to do is, like, touch him. And Grant's going to go out cold, right? Like, his chin sucks, no offense. His chin sucks. Bobby Green knocked him out with, like, a jab or something. And I think Manuel's the most powerful guy Grant's ever fought, so I'm gonna go with Manuel to land. I mean, and he might honestly, Grant might not even be able to get a takedown. Like that's what I'm thinking too. Like, would he like is he even gonna be able to get across the void and get a takedown before he gets chinned? And if he does get the takedown, which Manuel Torres has great takedown defense, by the way. He has really good takedown defense, and he's bigger, and he should be physical. Well, maybe he won't be physically stronger in the grappling than Grant, but he is like really big for lightweight. Manuel, he's muscled up, he's strong. I think he might be able to shuck off a takedown or two. And if he gets on the ground, like he's gonna be strong enough to use the fence to work himself up at least once, right? All he needs to do is really work himself back up to the feet once. And then it's gonna be harder for Grant to get a takedown. His feet are gonna stop moving as much. And I can't see Grant getting away from this one. Especially especially if he smudges and the ref stands them up. So yeah, we're gonna pick Manuel by knockout. I don't really see Grant getting away from this one. It's a really tough fight for Grant. And for Manuel, all he has to do is get up and touch Grant's chin, and he's done, and he wins, right? So that's what we're gonna go with. But yeah, really good prelims. So picks for prelims: Manuel by knockout, Chris by ground finish, Macy Barber by typical women's MMA decision, Nazim by decision, Ferreira by knocking out Vettori, Jalen Turner by knockout, Iwo Baranowski by decision, Mansour Abdul-Malik by whatever he wants, and then Muhammad Naimov by decision against Myron Santos. But moving on to the main card, we got Jan. Jan Blachowicz is back. Let's fucking go. Legendary Polish power. Against Bogdan Guskov. I was calling Walter Walker. Now, Bogdan, if you guys don't know, trains with Walter Walker. I was on the phone with Walter Walker earlier. I called him. I said, "Yo, Walter, how's Bogdan looking in camp?" You know what he tells me? I told you at the start of the video. He tells me, he goes, "Bro, Bogdan is ready." And then he just hung up. So, I mean, take that what you will. Take with that what you will. Take from that what you will. Jesus Christ, I can't fucking speak. But I'm gonna go with Jan Blachowicz, man. I can't bet. I can't pick against the legendary Polish power, man. I just can't. First of all, I'm a fan of Jan Blachowicz. Second of all, his last fight with Olberg, bro, MMA Guru was raging because he thought Jan Blachowicz won, right? Like, that's how close of a fight he just had with Carlos Olberg. So, coming off of an injury layoff as well, right? Like, I'm going to pick Jan Blachowicz to TKO Bogdan Guskov. I think he's going to TKO him. Because Bogdan has his hands low, and Jan Blachowicz, we've seen him in these like really technical tit-for-tat striking battles. He's really good at that. And what is Bogdan going to do? He's going to have to land an overhand right and knock Jan Blachowicz out to win, if that's the case, correct? But Jan is going to be so patient. He's going to be so ready for it. There's no grappling threat from Bogdan, like there was when he fought Glover, that he's going to have to worry about. The kicks as well. Jan's going to be able to land low kicks. He's going to be able to land body kicks. And if Bogdan gets frustrated and rushes into range to try to land something, we've seen him get clips before. And that legendary Polish power. I think he's going to clip him with the legendary Polish power and knock him out. Maybe in round 2, maybe in round 3, but yeah, I'm going to go with a TKO from Jan Blachowicz in round 2 or 3. So, I just don't think Bogdan is going to have, like, I think Jan is too defensively sound to get hit with anything real, like honestly, to get hit with anything by Bogdan. Like, I don't really think he's going to get hit at all in this fight. And then I think Bogdan's either going to rush in and get TKO'd, or he's going to get outstruck at range and get decision. But I think Bogdan, he's a tough dude. He's going to try something at some point, and I think that's when Jan's going to catch him and knock him out. So, yeah, we're going to go with Blachowicz. Knockout. Get back on a win. Love to see it. And he is 42, but like, dude, he was 42 when he fought Carlos Ulberg like a few months ago. So, I don't see any change, and he's back in it even more coming off injury layoff. Like, I think Jan is gonna show Bogdan levels in this fight. Next one. Oh my fucking god. Listen, dude. Look up Peyton's vape video. Dude, why is this fight made? This is a really good fight, by the way. This is gonna be a good fight. I don't see Henry really being able to take Peyton down like easy, and I think Henry's gonna strike, so I think this will be a really good fight. But I also don't think Peyton is gonna like knock Henry out or anything. So this is the most intriguing fight on the card. Like, this is the one I'm like 50-50 about the most. Besides the co-main event, we'll get to that. I really don't know who to pick in this one. Now, if I'm gonna bet, my models have Henry Cejudo. Like, my models are having this evens, right? And Henry's like a plus 200, so sprinkle something on Henry. Third hall betting advice, but dude, I don't. I guess I'm gonna go with Henry Cejudo. I'm gonna go with Henry Cejudo. If he listen, now I know Henry Cejudo is not the sharpest tool in the shed. I know he never went to college, right? Well, I mean, there's a reason he never went to college because he's literally the whole point was that so the USA could get a gold medalist in freestyle. That's they just trained him. But I think if he actually comes out with a game plan to grapple and mix in the takedowns, the way Henry Cejudo takes people down is up against the fence, trips, as you saw in the Demetrius Johnson fight, body lock takedowns. Maybe even if he shoots a double leg, he can get Peyton down. Which, I mean, a lot of people have gotten Peyton down. Frank Ocean has done it a lot. But I think Henry's going to be able to mix in the wrestling and the calf kicks as well. I mean, I think and I know he and here's my thing with Henry Cejudo. You're gonna hear Joe Rogan glazing his karate. He came out with that karate stance against Marlon Moraes, completely changed his style. Like, that shit was fucking 10 years ago, Joe Rogan. Calm down, dude. Henry Cejudo just stands at range in a karate stance. He doesn't do anything with the karate stance. He's not good at it. He's actually I don't know why he does it. He's terrible at it. He'd probably be much better suited going a traditional Mexican boxing style high guard, Dutch kickboxing high guard, and actually landing strikes because he's fast. But so I don't know why he uses the karate stance. I don't know why he insists on using it. But because he is in a karate stance, he can land calf kicks. The calf kicks will be there against Peyton Talbot. And he is fast enough to land. I think he has a better jab as well, right? We saw him landing a jab on Sang Yadong, who I think is better than Peyton Talbot. Well, obviously he is. But my main worry is if Henry's rushing into range and getting caught with elbows and knees, he could get pieced up and lose this fight by a decision. But I'm going to go with Henry to come out with a smart game plan, fight the way he's supposed to, mix in the grappling, which will allow him to be bouncing around. And Peyton Talbot gets tired grappling as well. The cardio, Henry's going to have a cardio advantage in this fight, I think. So there's that. So I think Henry's going to be able to work the wrestling game a little bit to wear on Peyton Talbot, maybe up against the cage. Maybe if he does get him down a little bit and controls him a bit, which I mean, it happened in the Raoni Barcelos fight to Peyton Talbot, which is his only loss. So I think Henry's going to be able to come in with smart game plan, pump his jab out in the first round a little bit, but he has to start with the wrestling first, land some calf kicks, pump his jab, get his right hand going as the fight goes on, frustrate Peyton a little bit, cause him to rush forward with strikes, which will allow Henry to duck under, grab a body lock in the clinch, take him down. I think that's how this fight can go, all right? So I'm going to go with Henry to get this one done by a decision. I don't think he's going to get a finish. He's not going to submit anybody. He's never submitted anybody in his life. But the whole long-winded analysis is a point to show that like this is a competitive fight that Henry Cejudo has to come in with a good game plan to, and he can lose this fight. I mean, obviously Peyton Talbot's like a 2-1 favorite, but like a lot of people are just like saying Henry Cejudo's just going to win, or Peyton Talbot's just going to knock Henry Cejudo out. Like the point is that this is a really competitive fight, but I do think Henry's going to lean on his experience to be able to get this win. Next fight. This fight is awesome as well. Moreno and Taira. Tatsuro Taira. Don't mind my Japanese person impression. I don't know. Let me know if you want the Japanese impressions. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments if you like that. But but no, I think this is a really good fight. By the way, it's a #1 contenders fight for Taira. If he wins this, he's probably gonna fight the winner of Pantoja Van, unless like. Dude, unless Van wins, obviously they'll just run it back. But recording a video, I have to record this shit on my phone. Oh no, you're good. You're good. No, you don't have to. We're good. But dude, I'm just gonna one take this shit. It doesn't matter. I'm fucking uploading this either way.
I made the final cut.
Hell yeah. But so Taira, Moreno, like I think I'm gonna go with Taira in this one because I think he's gotten good enough at the striking at this point. Like after his loss to Royval, which honestly he put up a better fight against Royval than Brandon Moreno did. Let's be honest. And he was able to get Royval's back, which I think is tougher than trying to shoot in and get Moreno's back. And it's a 3-rounder, so I think if Moreno tries anything at all, like overextending anything at all, he's going to get his back taken. He's going to have Taira on his back for an entire round, and that's just going to eat up the clock. And Taira's going to win one round based on that. At least. He's going to get at least one round where he's on Brandon Moreno's back. So then all he has to do is win one more round, right? And I think his striking is good enough to be able to keep Moreno at range with his jab. I think he can get takedowns as well. Like I think he can work a wrestling game on Moreno as well. I don't think Brandon Moreno's wrestling is that high level to where he's not gonna just be stuffing every takedown and piecing up Taira on the feet with the jab, right? And that's the thing with Moreno. His main weapon in the striking is his jab, which is good. But if you're like a boxing heavy fighter, a guy who has insanely good takedowns and insanely good grappling is going to be able to like take you down and control you, which is what Pantoja was able to do against Brandon Moreno the last time they fought, right? So I'm going to go Taira to win this one by, I think, a 29-28 decision. If he submits Brandon Moreno, that's crazy. Give him the title shot if Pantoja beats Van. Well, next, but I mean, we'll get to what I think I want to see happen after Pantoja Van, but yeah, I think Taira's going to be able to take down Brandon Moreno and control him. That's it. Like, bottom line. I don't think Brandon Moreno's takedown defense is good enough to be able to keep up with this. I think Taira's a different beast in the grappling entirely. And he's bigger than like Pantoja as well. So like Taira's big for flyweight, right? That's another thing. The size plays into it. Co-main event. Pantoja versus Van. Now, this may be the co-main event, but it's the people's main event. Because I think this is going to be a really good fight. Like, unless Pantoja goes out there and just shows Joshua Van levels in the grappling and takes him down and submits him, which, spoiler alert, I am going to be picking him to do. Dude, am I? See, like, I don't even know. Like, I've thought about this. Like, I came into this video saying, I'm going to pick Pantoja to get the submission. I'm going to pick him to lean on his experience. Take down Josh Van. Which I think the size is going to play a factor too. Josh Van is the smallest guy in the division. I think Pantoja is going to be able to muscle him around. And I think he's going to end up taking his back and submitting him. I know Josh Van has good takedown defense. I know he works on it. I know in the striking, if it stays there for an extended period of time, Josh is going to be piecing up Pantoja, which is what I'm excited to see. Like, that'd be fucking exciting, right? If Josh Van stuffs a takedown from Pantoja, shucks him off, goes out, pieces him up on the feet. But I don't see. I'm sorry, Josh Van. I love Josh Van. I'm sorry, Josh Van, but I just think Pantoja is going to take him down and submit him. I know that's the boring pick to make. It sucks, right? You know, we don't get all hyped up for this fight for Pantoja to go out there and just like take down a really inexperienced guy and submit him, but that is what I think is going to happen, and I think Pantoja is going to continue his legacy. But if Pantoja can't take down Josh, and I think the first round is going to be Pantoja's best opportunity. Like, he has to do this in the first round, because if he can't get Josh down in the first round, it's just going to get harder for him to get takedowns as the fight goes on. And, you know, that'll lead to, you know, we're going to have a similar situation to when Pantoja fought Steve Erceg, where he's like struggling on the feet a little bit. He's getting hit with shots coming in. He's going to be getting out scrambled. He won't be getting out scrambled, actually, but it's going to be harder for him to get takedowns. But I think Pantoja's going to get a takedown in the first round on Josh. He's going to work him. He's going to take his back. Maybe Josh defends the rear naked choke and gets out of the first round, but I think if Pantoja can take Josh down in the first round, it's going to give him the confidence to go into the later rounds knowing he can do that. And I think he's just going to eventually work it until he work the fence wrestling game, pushing Josh back against the cage, right? Shooting him to the cage. Similar thing he did to Kai Kara France, where he's going to be able to just kind of bully Josh in the wrestling a little bit and then end up getting him to the ground. And when he does, I think he's just going to end up getting a submission, because Josh has never felt any grappling like this before. So, yeah, that's my pick. I mean, it sucks, right? Because I do want to see a scrap. I want to see Josh do well in this fight. I do want to see Josh Van do good in this fight, because it'd make for an exciting fight. And it is kind of competitive as well, but I just think Pantoja is going to be able to work Josh Van in the wrestling. And then when he gets him on the ground, the jiu-jitsu difference, you're going to see the jiu-jitsu difference here. It'll be, you know, maybe he just goes out there and submits Josh in the first round, honestly, right? But yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. And yeah, let's go for that, you know? Main event, I mean, do we even have to really talk about this? Merab 50-45 decision. That's it. That's the video, guys. Like and subscribe. But nah, let's break this down a bit more. Like, Merab is a minus 500 favorite. That's crazy. But I do think Merab's going to win. I think Petr Yan is, like, too stationed. I think, like, because I think Merab's gotten good enough to where, like, he can strike with Petr Yan a little bit. I mean, he was striking with him in the first fight, but everybody knows Petr Yan was injured. You're going to hear Joe Rogan. He's going to be like, this is a completely different fight. Like, it is. But it's just because Yan isn't injured. But also Merab has gotten better since their last fight. So, like so much better. Like, he submitted O'Malley. He's, like, dropping Corey Sandhagen and finishing him nearly. Right? So, I'm just gonna go with Merab. I don't know what Petr Yan's gonna be able to do. He's gonna have to knock him out, right? And the worst part is, like, if he wants to win a decision, like, Petr, he's gonna like, if he doesn't win the first round, he's gonna lose against Merab. Like, both of these dudes' worst round is the first round every single time they fight. They all, like, they both lose the first round every single time. But so that's going to, like, hurt Petr, because to beat Merab, you have to win the first round, and then you have to just, like, you have to win the first round pretty much against Merab, and I don't even know if Petr's going to be able to do that. So, because after that, it's just an avalanche of takedowns coming at you that get harder and harder to defend as the fight goes on, and you got to do that for 25 minutes. Now, I will say, when they fought the first time, Petr did a much better job of defending Merab's takedowns than anybody else did. He defended like he might have defended almost all of them, right? And he took down Merab at one point as well with a sweep. So look for that in this fight. Look for Piotr to be letting the right hand go in this fight as well. And another factor is last time they fought it they like fought in a movie theater or some shit, right? This time they're fighting. I think this is at T-Mobile Arena. The octagon is going to be way bigger for this one. So I think if Piotr can use his footwork and skirt around on the outside, not get caught with any right hands from Merab that'll hurt him, Piotr Jan does have a better chance in this fight, is what I'm saying. But I am still going to pick Merab because I think Piotr Jan is going to get stationary at points, and I think Merab's gotten better enough to where he's going to be able to overcome, like, Piotr Jan being able to have a better chance in this fight, is what I'm saying, pretty much, right? Like, look for Merab to be landing his body shots. He's gonna take Piotr Jan down. Like, it's gonna happen. It's just, can Piotr get off in the striking enough, unlike Corey Sandhagen was doing? Like, is he gonna be able to land big combinations on Merab to be able to like win some rounds off him, which might happen and might make this really competitive. But I'm still gonna pick Merab. But if you're a betting man, dude, take Piotr Jan money line. Like, Piotr in this fight has a better chance than anybody else has that Merab has fought, and Merab fought like what 2 months ago. So the bet is betting Piotr Jan money line, but I'm gonna pick Merab. And then if Merab wins and Pantoja wins, like I'm picking, do that fight, dude. Super fight. Come on, dude. You got to do that fight. So, anyways, guys, like, subscribe. I know I haven't been uploading recently, but it is what it is. We're gonna have some end of the year content coming. I know I always say I have content ideas, but I'm actually gonna like grind out some end of the year content. So, yeah, stay tuned in for that. Stay tuned in for the reaction video. I mean, I'm gonna post it probably Saturday after the fight happens, and then stay tuned for, I don't know, next. What do we got? What card do we have next week? Manel Kape Royval in the Apex, dude. I mean, classic. Fucking finishing off the ESPN deal with a fucking Apex fight night. Jesus Christ. But anyway, like and subscribe, comment for the algorithm, and peace.